launch sites. Iran and Israel now both seeming to indicate they are willing to halt operations, but major questions still remain over the status of Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's relationship. While Israel's retaliation toward Iran comes after Trump said he was asking Netanyahu not to. President Trump later telling the Financial Times the Israeli leader, quote, won't have any choice but to accept a deal with Iran and that he doesn't call the shots. Joining me now is ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers. Karen, this dangerous escalation came after Trump said he was asking Netanyahu not to retaliate. So what's going on here?
Yeah, and they still did yesterday after that phone call that the president had with the Israeli prime minister. He told Axios yesterday that he was going to call up Prime Minister Netanyahu and tell him, quote, not to retaliate. He told Axios each of them had their fun. Israel had its strike. Iran had its strike. He says, we don't need another one. But the strikes did continue after that, and that certainly calls into question that relationship and coordination at this point between the United States and Israel, between the president and the prime minister. And Andrew, we're learning that the president and the prime minister had another phone call today, and this, of course, comes as Israel and Iran now are saying that they will pause these strikes against each other at this point, but certainly reserving the right to continue that if things were to escalate again. But this is something that is really complicating the issue for the administration as they're trying to reach that deal with Iran. But Iran has made very clear that the issue of Lebanon is very critical to them, and a ceasefire there is something that has to happen in order for them to agree to another thing with the United States at this point. So there's just so many moving parts right now that they're trying to juggle and get all lined up in order to have these negotiations actually get across the finish line.
And Karen, why is Trump putting renewed pressure on Israel and Iran to reach an immediate ceasefire?
Yeah, because at this point, this is really making things more difficult for the president on the negotiations with Iran. He has said last week that he thought that there could be an agreement announced by this past weekend. That, of course, did not happen. The president continues to say that negotiations are in the final stage, that they're getting close to a deal. But we have heard that, Andrew, for weeks now from the president without any meaningful progress or getting a deal actually agreed to and announced publicly. And so that hard line that Iran was driving last week when it came to a ceasefire in Lebanon was certainly a complicating factor that they had to consider. And then when this escalated over the weekend with those Israeli strikes then aimed at Beirut, this is something that the administration wants to get a hold of very quickly so they can continue on the diplomatic track and try to have that negotiations actually achieve an agreement.
So many mixed messages over these last couple of weeks. Karen Travers for us at the White House. Thank you. The war with Iran officially surpassing the 100-day mark, which means it's been nearly 100 days of Americans feeling the pain at the pump. Today, oil prices remain steady, around $91 per barrel there, as the Strait of Hormuz is closed for yet another day. But there is some welcome relief for drivers. Right now, an average cost of a gallon of regular gas is $4.08. That's down more than 10 cents since last week. But oil executives warning to not get comfy because costs could get much higher and peak by Labor Day if travel through the strait stays suspended. We'll, of course, track it. An urgent manhunt is underway in Ohio after at least 2 gunmen opened fire at a Toledo summer festival, hitting 12 people and critically injuring 2. Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas has the latest.
A local Toledo festival turns into a nightmare with people literally running for their lives in a hail of gunfire.
It sounds as if there's going to be multiple people shot.
At least 2 gunmen firing away. Shooting stops, 12 people caught in the crossfire, ranging in age from 14 to 61. 2 initially listed in critical condition.
Everybody trying to find their kids.
There's quite a few people that need help. It's a crazy sight to see.
I've been to a lot of scenes, but this is way over the top.
The shooters fleeing the scene. Police now in a desperate manhunt, asking for the public's help.
There were several hundred people there, and everybody has one of these. I know in my heart that footage is out there.
It was the city's annual Old West End Festival, where hundreds come out to celebrate the beginning of summer. Children playing, good food, dancing in the street before the chaos. Angry residents who had to cancel Sunday's planned festival events, saying this tragedy is not a reflection of who they are.
There has to be a tone set early on, with summer just starting, that this type of behavior will not be tolerated.
Andrew, even as violent crime in this nation has been falling, that tragedy in Ohio is a painful reminder But mass shootings remain a chronic issue in this country, up 25% this year compared to last.
Pierre Thomas, thank you. And a major security scare in Houston. Police say a man snuck onto a United flight last month without a valid ticket. According to the criminal complaint, the suspect allegedly used an invalid boarding pass and slipped past distracted gate agents before hiding in the plane's bathroom. Passengers alerted the crew before takeoff, and the man was arrested after the plane returned to the gate. The suspect had his first court hearing today with a preliminary bond set for $15,000. Security on high alert for a massive event coming to the U.S. this week, the 2026 FIFA World Cup. 16 cities across North America are preparing for the highly anticipated soccer competition, bringing athletes and teams from all across the world. The World Cup expected to draw up to 7 million visitors to the United States in cities across New York, Texas, California, and more. FBI Director Kash Patel today saying the Bureau is deploying an elite team to keep things safe, adding, quote, "We are prepared for every scenario." Now to the stabbing attack at New York's Penn Station. Police say 5 people were stabbed just below Madison Square Garden yesterday by a man experiencing homelessness. Thankfully, sources tell ABC News, none of the injuries are believed to be life-threatening, but it is raising questions about security ahead of President Trump's expected appearance at MSG tonight for Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Chief Investigative Correspondent Eric Petersky has the details.
The security is ramping up for Game 3 of the NBA Finals at Madison Square Garden, where hours earlier a suspect slashed 5 people at Penn Station beneath the arena. Bloody gloves and gauze littered the floor where emergency crews treated the wounded.
When I got near track 1, I saw somebody get stabbed. They screamed. Everybody started running.
Brandon Norwood was on his way home when he says he saw one of the victims slashed near the tracks. Amtrak police quickly taking the suspect into custody. Police sources describing him as emotionally disturbed and experiencing homelessness.
We turned and we ran, and just trying to get out the station, somebody fell, and I made sure to pick them up because I didn't know if the dude who stabbed, how close he was. We were all just running just to get out of there.
First responders rushed in to help the 5 people injured. All are expected to survive. The slashings came hours before tightened security at Penn Station, where thousands of Knicks fans will pass through on their way to Madison Square Garden for Game 3 of the NBA Finals. President Trump is expected to attend. The official watch party outside canceled. The NYPD saying this was done fully in coordination with the Secret Service because of the presidential visit. The Secret Service said outdoor watch parties could not be accommodated in the immediate vicinity of Madison Square Garden due to the security requirements.
So there's no watch party outside here at Madison Square Garden for Game 3, but the city did move it a little north and a little east into Bryant Park. Thousands are expected to be cheering on the Knicks.
To your weather, a dangerous flash flood threat. 27 million Americans from Iowa to Georgia are under a flash flood watch today, and out west we're tracking fire weather danger. These are live pictures from EarthCam showing Las Vegas now under a red flag warning. Meteorologist Tamara Theodore is tracking it all.
Andrew, something we've been talking about even this past weekend was the threat for flash flooding, and we saw it in full effect Saturday night in Texas. You can see that they are rescuing someone from the water. It happened so quickly, so it's imperative that you are staying vigilant and making sure those alerts are on your phone. Flash flood threat today for anyone living in green. That includes Nashville, Huntsville, Atlanta. We're going to be seeing rounds of heavy rain, copious amounts of rain at time that could lead to that flash flooding. Not only that, we have a threat for severe weather. As we head through the afternoon, we could see a level 2 out of 5 for some folks in Wichita, North Platte, Denver, or just to the east of Denver, rather. There's a threat for severe weather. And in some areas, it's even hitting level 3. So we could see destructive winds, very large hail, strong tornadoes. That's on Tuesday. So areas that have been previously hit by storms, prepare for more rounds. And then Wednesday, that shifts east. Mason City, Green Bay. By Thursday, it's in Chicago, Peoria, Springfield. All of these areas should be on high alert for those strong storms. It's not just the wet weather and the dangerous weather we're battling, but it's also the heat, and that could be dangerous in itself at times. A heat advisory has been issued for Kansas City on Tuesday, and we could be looking at record-breaking temperatures, 95 in our nation's capital by Friday, triple digits potentially in Raleigh, North Carolina by the end of the week. Back to you, Andrew.
Hot and humid on the East Coast. Martha Theodore, thank you. Coming up, want fries with that? Why AI might be asking that question at a McDonald's drive-thru near you. Plus, buzz in the Big Apple, how New York City is getting ready for Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Keep it here.
Oh, Uzi on down to Domino's and pick up large one-topping pizzas for just $7.99.
For the ones who know well-prepared workdays land right on time, there's Grainger. For the ones who get it done.
Don't rush cherry dark chocolate. Take your sweet time. That's Doves.
The bonds burn. Injury attorneys call 1-800-8-million.
Gravity keeps everything in its place.
But there's another logic, the one of exceptional.
Products born from the extraordinary processes refined to perfection.
Because when precision becomes flavor and you discover that it comes from Spain,
You're already lifted. Spain of your life!
Next day on Hulu.
Thanks for streaming with us. An Arkansas father is facing multiple charges after a police chase ended with his 4-month-old baby ejected from a car. Police say a state trooper was trying to pull the man over for a traffic violation when he refused to stop, reaching over 100 miles per hour in the pursuit. Police dash cam video shows the moment the suspect lost control of the car, hit a light pole, and flipped multiple times. Police say they grabbed the baby from the road and found 3 more children in the car, and they're all being treated for minor injuries. Your McDonald's drive-thru could be getting an AI high-tech makeover. McDonald's says it's testing a Google-powered AI ordering system at 5 U.S. locations. The CEO says Archie is meant to help human employees, not replace jobs. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze is in Alexandria, Virginia, with more.
Yeah, I'd like to place an order.
The days of ordering from a real-life person in the drive-thru lane.
Where's your manager?
Look, I am the manager.
Could soon be in the rearview mirror. all thanks to AI.
McDonald's is using AI to run their drive-thrus?
McDonald's revealing it's testing Arch IQ, a Google-powered AI ordering system at 5 of its U.S. drive-thru locations.
Welcome back, David.
A McDonald's franchise owner sharing this video of the technology on display last week at the company's worldwide conference.
Can I have the Huntrix meal? Was that with Hunter sauce and demon sauce? Yes.
The chatbot, nicknamed Archie, taking orders in English and Spanish. McDonald's CEO saying it's 90% accurate, and writing in a memo, the Golden Arches is launching a new strategy as more of the customer journey becomes automated.
You are literally automating a task that was taken by a person. The stated goal that companies use when they use this is to free up an employee's time to do something else.
Where did the butter come from?
McDonald's shelved a previous test of automated drive-thrus in 2024 after videos of incorrect orders went viral.
9 sweet teas! 9! I did not ask for this!
Taco Bell and Wendy's now also launching their own automated drive-thru systems as fast food companies double down on AI.
You can imagine a future where no orders at McDonald's are actually taken by a human being.
Andrew, McDonald's has not rolled out broader plans for this AI ordering yet. It says the goal is to make employees more efficient, not to replace jobs. In the meantime, we're taking some orders, Andrew.
All right, I'll take some fries then, Elizabeth. Thank you. Coming up, the NBA Finals are headed to New York with the Knicks just 2 games away from history. Can they sweep the Spurs and send the city into another frenzy? We'll preview Game 3 next.
Want to join an epic dining experience in Finland? Apply before June 9th.